Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video is being seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, bringing you another unboxing and review, pardon me, of a watch that is not mine. I did not buy this watch. This watch was loaned into me. Actually, a group of 4 watches was loaned into me by my good buddy and fellow Random Rob Discord member, Bobby Legs. He has his own YouTube channel, which I will link to in the description, along with the website for this particular watch. And I do thank Bobby for sending these watches over. This one is probably the most unusual. No, I will take the word probably out. It is the most unusual watch of the group. And I will say up front, honest and in full, how shall we say, revealing of my opinion. This would not be a watch I'd buy. This watch is a little bit too on the bleeding edge, as it were, in terms of style. But if this is a watch that appeals to you, great. There's a watch for every wrist and a wrist for every watch. This watch is not for my wrist, however. This is from a new company, a startup called, I'm hope I pronounced this right, Kaal. Kaal, Kaal. Now, that word Kaal means time in a language called Sanskrit. Sanskirt. Sanskrit. I've never heard of that language before, but that doesn't surprise anybody who knows me. I only speak 2 languages myself, English and bad English. So, not ever having heard the language of Sanskrit should not shock anyone. This watch is, as I make this watch in January of 2021, is being sold on their website as a pre-order. Approximate shipping time is February of 2021. That, of course, can change with time. No pun intended. Interesting little box. So it looks sort of like a miniature trunk. One of those old-timey steamer trunks. Nice little buckle. And you open it up. And unfortunately, it didn't come with a little doodad here, watch cushion, and there's nothing else in the watch box except for so I don't know if this is the box the watch will actually ship in or not. Again, this is all pre-order. And here we have the watch with a I'll give the watch this much. It has a very nice strap, very thick, very soft leather. I don't know if the softness is from the fact that it's probably been worn multiple times and been moved around the country and maybe even around the world, but it is soft. It is very pliable and feels good on the wrist. But we didn't come here to talk about watch bands. We came here to talk about this thing. This is the Multiverse Sol. S-O-L, Sol, as in sun. And this is supposed to be a representation of our sun, the way it looks through a telescope, I guess. There are different versions of this watch. This one is the Sol. Tells time in a, obviously it's a very unique looking watch, first of all. It looks sort of like a spaceship. Well, UFO anyway. With the ridiculously high domed crystal. I mean, look at the size of that crystal. I mean, I've heard, we've all seen domed crystals, but this one is the definition of extreme. Um, it keeps time in a very unusual way. You have an hour track right here. Obviously, there's the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it rotates this way. You have a, if I can find the darn thing, where'd it go? You have a, oh, there it is, there it is. It looks like a little itty bitty spaceship, little oval thing running around. That's your seconds. Um, if you literally look at it, it looks like a little spaceship. And right here, this little starburst is your minute hand. And this is now indicating that we are coming up on 2 o'clock. It's about, what, 1:57, right? You have your minute track on the in a railroad track style along the very edge of the inside of the watch face. And then the whole watch face is, of course, dominated by this relief of the sun. And it's just crazy. The back is solid, except for it has a slight open heart to it, a reverse open heart. And if you move it around a little bit, if you can get the rotor out of the way, you can see the escapement banging away there in the place where the sun would be. The sun being, of course, in the middle of the solar system. And then you have the planets orbiting the sun. That would be Mercury, Venus, Earth. No, that would be Earth, sorry. Mars. Well, maybe that's, I don't know. Looks a little small to be Jupiter, but maybe that's Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. I mean, if you went with the concentric circles going outward for the 9 or 8 or 10 or whatever number of planets they say there are this week. I grew up with 9 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Now they say Pluto's not a planet, then they say Pluto is a planet, then they say Pluto is too far away to be a planet. Blah, blah, blah. How does that affect the price of tea in China? Never mind. Anyway. Also on the back, you'll notice that you have quick release on the spring bars, which is good because if you look at that screw right there, which is obviously a false screw, that's a star-headed screw. I don't know if they sell screwdrivers with that pattern or not. You have a signed crown, loomed. So now you see we're coming up on 2 o'clock, so the 2 is aligning with the little triangle, and the minute hand starburst is about to align too, and there's your little spaceship running around the sun right there. Just a crazy looking watch. You should see this thing on. This thing on me is bonkers. I mean, this is a bonkers watch. Get it strapped in here. There we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go on my 7¼ inch wrist. You see the lug to lug is actually fairly narrow. I'll get to that in a minute. But, I mean, the thickness of the thing. I mean, obviously, this is not going to fit under a shirt cuff. Hell, I don't know if it would fit underneath a hoodie or a sweatshirt. It's so damn tall. Definitely an excellent summer watch, though, when you're wearing short sleeves. But for its size, it does, and this goes to the leather strap being on here instead of a bracelet. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel awkward. It just tall, very, very tall. And I think if it were on a bracelet, it would probably be just too much for the average person. But let's go over some of the vital statistics on this watch. I have my sheet of facts here. As I said, this is the Kaal, Kaal, Kaal. I'm going to, if somebody knows a proper way to pronounce it, let me know in the comments. But this, I'm going to say Kaal. Multiverse Soul Edition, SOL, Soul. As I said, the watches are on pre-order currently. You can order these on the website. They are relatively inexpensive. I will leave a link in the description to this watch's website. In diameter, it's fairly conventional at 42 millimeter, 47 millimeter, 47.5 millimeter on the tip to tip, and fortunately, it's a strap, so the straps will fall straight down, so they don't hang out like this on your wrist. But 19 millimeters thick. 19. Now, in perspective, the thickest watch I own currently is 20.5 millimeter thick, and that is my Zelos Abyss 3. A Zelos Hammerhead is about 18 and a half millimeter thick. So this is as thick as two of the biggest Zelos watches made. I have videos of those watches if you want to go and check it out. But this is one of the thickest watches I've ever put on, other than that Abyss. And if I didn't own that Abyss, thank you for my birthday present to my dad. If I didn't own that, this would definitely be the thickest watch I've ever put on by a good margin. 22 millimeter lug width. The watch body is 316L stainless steel. It's got a nice brushed finish. It's in excellent shape, by the way. Who's ever been playing with this watch before me didn't do a lot of damage to it. Ridiculously domed sapphire crystal with internal AR coating. Thank God it's a sapphire crystal and it's scratch resistant, because I imagine replacing one of these crystals is not cheap. 30 meter water resistant, so not a screw down crown. Nice knurling on the crown though. Not a screw down crown. You can wash your hands with it. Accidentally get thrown in the pool with it, but I wouldn't swim with it. I sure wouldn't go snorkeling or diving with it. Inside the case, inside there is a Seiko NH35 movement. There is no date on this watch, but there is, if you pull it once, there is a ghost. No, there isn't. Oh, maybe I didn't pull it just once then. Yeah. Yeah, there you can hear it. There's a ghost date track in there, but no date. Pull it twice. It does hack the movement. If I can find the little spaceship, I can prove it. There it is, right there. See? It's hacked. And now you can see how this thing works. To advance the time, you turn it, and the black wheel with the big numbers on it turns clockwise, and so does the minute hand. And then you can, obviously, you can turn it counterclockwise. I don't know what time it was. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, and then obviously the movement will start up again when you push the crown in. So that's it. Not much to it. In the end, it's a very simple three-hander with this crazy bridge across the top and this crazy image of our beloved sun, with the hour markers rotating around it and the little starburst second hand and the little spaceship running around like a crazy person. If you're a big fan of astronomy and all things astronomical, great watch. But for me, this watch is just it's too crazy. It's too much. Not a watch that I would own, but it does seem to be made of good quality materials. And of course, being that it's being run by the ubiquitous and tank tough Seiko NH35, even if it breaks on you, any competent watchmaker can put the watch back together relatively quickly. I wouldn't even want to imagine what it would take to reset that crystal, though. Crazy. Anyway, that's my review of probably the craziest watch I've ever reviewed on this channel, and that's saying something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that thumbs up button before you go. That does help the channel with respect to searchability and drawing people to the channel. Comments, questions, and suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you leave links that take my viewers to bad places on the web, I will delete the comment and I will block you, the commenter. Likewise, if you decide you're going to be a nasty little cuss for no good reason other than you're a nasty little cuss and troll my channel, I'll just delete the comment and again, I'll block you. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Glad you found the place. Pardon me again. Feel free to look around, watch as many videos as you want. I'm approaching 400 videos at this point. All I ask is that before you leave, please click that subscribe button and then click the bell icon next to it so that when I upload new material, you will be alerted. Or when I go live and do a live stream, which I do every Wednesday afternoon. I'm considering changing the time on that. Stay tuned for that. Every Wednesday afternoon, I do a live stream, and I will do other live streams as time and opportunity present themselves. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay well. I'll see you in my next video.